Hello, my name's Jonathan. It's Friday the 1st of May, and today I'm going to be talking about Psalm 10. It's a powerful psalm. It picks up on many of the points and the themes that Adrian discussed yesterday, but this time focuses a bit more on the bigger picture, and especially on the theme of the oppression of the weak and the helpless. The opening of the psalm is pretty bold, even accusatory. Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? This is pretty strong stuff. Not only is David accusing God of not being there, but he's saying that God's hiding away in times of trouble. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't dare start my prayer in such an aggressive way. But then again, I'm not as angry as David clearly was. He spends the next 10 verses of the psalm in what can only be described as a furious rant against the wicked. He says they trick the weak, they're greedy and depraved. They don't have time for God. They lie and threaten and even ambush and murder the innocent. But what really makes David's blood boil is that they seem to be doing very well out of it. And even worse, they seem to be getting away with it. They believe that God is covering his face and doesn't see what's going on. They're acting with impunity. And then in verse 12, David calms down. He turns to God and he starts to pray. Arise, Lord, lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. And then in verse 17, you, Lord, hear the desire of the afflicted. You encourage them and you listen to their cry, defending the fatherless and the oppressed, so that mere earthly mortals will never again strike terror. So the frustration that we heard at the start of the psalm has now turned to confidence that God isn't distant. He isn't hiding away. He's actually heard and noticed everything. He's listening and he's encouraging. He hasn't abandoned the poor and the needy, but he will help and bless them, and ultimately he will end oppression. For me, this passage is a timely reminder at these difficult and challenging times that we should not forget the helpless, especially those who truly have nowhere else to turn. We need to recognize and identify injustices when we see them. And then, rather than just getting angry and frustrated, we need to do something about it. And finally, we need to pray. And we need to trust in God's protection and great mercy that justice will be done. Stay safe and God bless.